powered by Riverside FM.
Ben, I just had the opportunity to come from the Minnesota Vikings, New England Patriots Joint Practice. A couple things that I saw from both sides of the ball. There's a lot of different areas that I could touch on and cover, but I want to start with the offense. Before, there was a lot of, debate and talk about whether or not the Minnesota Vikings should add another wide receiver. I was kind of 50-50 on that. I wasn't opposed to it, but really didn't think maybe it was needed. I'll let you in on a little bit, Secret UP Nation and Purple Gang, Skull Nation. The Minnesota Vikings need to add another wide receiver. And here's what I'm going to say. I didn't think that the offensive team today played terrible. I didn't think they played great either. I thought it was pretty much a mediocre showing by the offense, and there's a couple of reasons why for this. Here's where the Minnesota Vikings are in terms of their development in this offense and where JJ McCarthy is. This is just my own personal opinion. I paid a lot of attention to the wide receivers. And here's why I say the Minnesota Vikings need to add wide receivers. Number one, JJ McCarthy has learned this playbook. He's a very, very smart quarterback, knows the playbook. And the one thing that JJ McCarthy seems to do well and seems to do really consistently is he knows the routes that the wide receivers are going to run. And so he places the ball before the wide receivers really break out of their routes. And really good elite quarterbacks are really, really good at doing that. And again, it's about knowing the playbook and it's about trusting your wide receivers. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson are really good route runners, And what happens between wide receivers and quarterbacks is when you are a really good route runner, there is a level of trust. JJ McCarthy believes that when Justin Jefferson is out there, he can place the ball because he knows that Justin Jefferson is going to break his route at the right time. So he knows exactly where to place that ball. He has developed that confidence in Jordan Addison. It is why in the first preseason game, you saw the amount of balls thrown to Jordan Addison. You saw the production between JJ McCarthy and Jordan Addison. Everybody talked about chemistry. Yes, there is chemistry, but there is also trust in that situation. TJ Hawkinson against linebackers and against safeties, it's just a mismatch. It's what makes TJ Hawkinson so good. He's too fast for most linebackers and too big for most safeties. So that's what makes him a difficult cover, and he's a good route runner for what he is asked to do. Now, you push those three guys aside, you got Salas Bowden, you got Ty Felton, you got Naylor, you got all of these guys. They are a little bit more inconsistent in terms of their route running and being where they are supposed to be. When you look at the joint practice today, what stood out to me, and UP Nation, Purple Gang, Skull Nation, this is real. This is my assessment, and this is the coaching part of me trying to look at all the intangible stuff, man. Just looking at all the intangible stuff, not the stats, but what are going to be some issues for the Minnesota Vikings offense going forward. And here's what I think. We do not have a group of great separators. And that is key, especially in the development of a young quarterback. Like you've got Justin Jefferson, you got Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, great separators. Outside of that, we don't have any more great separators on this team. And what I mean by separators is that you've got to give your quarterback that space where you beat your defensive back by like 4 to 5 inches coming off a break. If you can create that window, JJ McCarthy is accurate enough where he is going to get the ball there. If you can't create that separation, it becomes really tough. It is why when JJ McCarthy threw that one interception today in the joint practice, after that, physically they couldn't sack him because he had a red jersey on, but it became potential sack after potential sack after potential sack after potential sack. It's kind of the same thing that you saw during the first preseason game. It's why the Minnesota Vikings offensively couldn't finish that drive. There is going to be I don't think our offense is going to be terrible. Don't get me wrong. Our offense is not going to be terrible when Jordan Addison is out, but you are going to see a level of inconsistency. This is just my opinion from our offense, and our defense is going to have to carry the day. And this is why I think it is paramount for us to go out and get another wide receiver, man. I have never been on that side of the fence fully, but I am more on that side of the fence, UP Nation, than I've been in a long time. And it has to be a guy that's a great route runner. I know that there have been debates and talk and speculation, whatever you want to call it, about Adam Thielen, man. If we have the opportunity to bring Adam Thielen in here, I would do it. And I'm going to tell you right now, even when Jordan Addison comes back, man, to have a third guy that you can count on to run routes. And again, we're not talking about talent, man. Naylor is talented, just not the best, greatest route runner that JJ can rely on. He's just not. Like, that is just the truth of the matter. You add a guy like Adam Thielen, or you add a guy like Amari Cooper, who's one of the best route runners. People think he's long in the tooth. Man, he's one of the best route runners in the NFL. This is why the Rondale Moore injury is so crucial. Because now, JJ McCarthy today was going up against arguably a top 10 defense in the league, rated number 9, without Justin Jefferson, just with Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkinson. That's who got most of the production when it came to catching the ball. Ty Felton every now and then, Silas Bowden every now and then. Brown every now and then. These guys just aren't reliable all the time. They're just not consistent all the time. And that's going to be the issue. That's going to be the battle. If KOC thinks that he can get them there, I trust KOC. But this JJ McCarthy dude, man, he is smart, and he is an accurate quarterback. He just needs to know that people are going to be where they're supposed to be, and that he sees what he sees. Because I felt after he threw the pick today, a lot of his potential sacks just came from him holding the ball. Number one, there was a hesitation of trust, I believe, and only he can answer that. But number two, there was just no separation. I was watching the wide receivers run their routes, and they were getting a lot of guys in there at pretty good clips in terms of playing that position, and there just wasn't a lot of separation. And so you are going to get drives, because they're talented, you're going to get drives where our offense looks really good, and then there's going to be drives where our offense is just inconsistent. The overthrown balls, the interceptions. I think it's going to be paramount this year that if we really want to be good and consistent on the offensive side of the ball, I think we need to surround JJ with as much reliability as we possibly can. And it has to be consistent reliability. It can't be, I'm going to do this one time and not do this another time. Like, it has to be the most consistent thing. And that's what you get. That's what you really miss when you have a guy like Jets in the game, and when he goes out, the level of wide receiver that you get behind the Jets and the consistency that you get behind the Jets, it's just not the same. And so the Minnesota Vikings, in terms of their wide receiver room, man, they're definitely going to have to look at that. On the defensive side of the ball, Stephon Diggs had a day. He had a day. Stephon Diggs is recovering off his ACL pretty well. He looked speedy. He looked jittery. Ran his routes well, had great breaks and bursts on the ball. I thought Stephon looked great. He got Jeff Okudah one time, and I know the highlight that you're going to see is Jeff Okudah getting burnt by Diggs, but I'm going to tell you this, man, and here's what's not going to be shown. Jeff Okudah, outside of that one play, and there's always like one play, man. There's always like one play. And especially because it's Jeff Okudah, and I know the microscope is on it. The magnifying glass is on that dude. That everybody's going to pay attention to that play. But he made some really good plays the majority of the day. I think his scrimmage was pretty decent outside of that play. I thought the Minnesota Vikings defense, B-Flow wanted to see in certain instances how aggressive they could be. And quite honestly, I'm a layman watching practice today, but I thought that he did a lot of experimenting today. So there are going to be instances where the Minnesota Vikings really got after Drake May, and so they put their secondary on islands sometimes, and they won 90% of those. So it wasn't like the Patriots were going up and down the field on the defense. I thought the Minnesota Vikings defense had a good day, man. I thought the defense won the battle, but I thought the Patriots defense won the battle against the Minnesota Vikings offense today. So I thought it was a split practice. I don't think the Vikings can come out and say, hey, we won it. I don't think the Patriots can come out and say, hey, we won it. But I thought both teams look really, really good on defense. Hopefully the offense can come back stronger tomorrow. But I don't think this problem is going to go away, quite frankly, UP Nation, in terms of our wide receiving core. I think we have to be at full strength. Obviously, Addison's going to be out for 3 games. That's a problem. That's more of a problem than I thought it would be, because you're relying on guys that I feel like just can't get open consistently. And it's because they're learning, they're developing. So it will be great if we can add one more vet to this wide receiving core. I think it would open up the offense a lot. We got too many weapons, but we need more weapons down the field for JJ McCarthy. It's really tough to evaluate the running game, but I thought that Aaron Jones found his holes quickly and had that burst. I thought Jordan Mason is just a cannonball, man. I think where there isn't a hole, he makes a hole. So he didn't have a lot of burst highlights today, but he had a lot of strong runs today, and it just stood out just watching him. So I think the offense is going to be okay, but I want the offense to be great. And for the offense to be great, they have to add another, in my opinion, man, veteran wide receiver, or you're going to see inconsistent play. We just don't have enough separators. It's going to be interesting to see what the Minnesota Vikings do in that regard, man. But I thought the joint practice was well. Minnesota Vikings organization is first class, treated us with first class today. So skol to the Minnesota Vikings. Let's get this joint practice number 2 on the side of a dub for the Minnesota Vikings to play better tomorrow offensively and defensively. Looking forward to the preseason game on Saturday. Don't expect JJ McCarthy to play in that game. It will be the backups. And I'm going to tell you this, man, Brosner, listen, man, everybody's talking about, we're too over the moon. This dude consistently shows up, whether it's in the game, in practice, through another bomb today in practice, looked really consistent today in practice. He's coming. You can say he's overrated if you want, but he's on the come up in the Minnesota Vikings organization. I think he makes the 53. I don't see any chance that this dude is going to be on the practice squad, because I don't think the Minnesota Vikings want to take a chance at losing this kid, because he has the potential, whether it's this year or next year or a couple years from now, being a number 2 backup on this team to JJ McCarthy. So I don't think the Minnesota Vikings want to lose that. Please hit the like and subscribe button. UP Nation only takes a second. And as always, we will make sure to see ya when we see ya. Go Vikes. Skol!